Well, hey there, wine fans. It's Wine Shark with you here again with another Wine Shark Takes video. Today we're going to talk about wines for the hard seltzer drinker, part one. What you're going to learn today is what wine styles might best suit you if you're coming to wine from the hard seltzer world. And stick around to the end. We're going to talk about some specific wines you might want to try and some tasting notes for each. So first, let's talk about what hard drinks are, right? It's sort of a confusing name compared to, say, hard spirits, which are more alcoholic than beer and wine. Hard, in this case, just refers to an alcoholic version of a non-alcoholic beverage. Some assumptions about hard seltzers in particular, or hard sodas, or pre-mixed low alcohol by volume cocktails, or any other what the industry calls FMB. So that's industry speak for flavored malt beverage. So we're talking about your White Claws, we're talking about your not your dad's root beer and things like that, right? So what do these things have in common that generally get people who are just into drinking alcohol drinking them? Well, they're easy drinking for the one part. They don't have the taste of alcohol. Number two, they're lower in alcohol volume overall. So you can be able to kind of sip on them all day, do other things. It's not a very heavy drink like, say, a full spirits drink. They're also done with very friendly flavors, unlike beer, which, for instance, can have both of the above, or cider, which can have both of the above. The artificial flavors and that FMBs tend to be sweeter, more approachable things. You've got stuff that you've already been drinking from your youth, like black cherry and mango and raspberry and watermelon. Not stuff you're generally going to find in other types of low alcohol fermented beverages. So when we're going to talk about wine and getting into the world of wine from that FMB or hard seltzer world, what are the things that we're going to do is we're going to look at to parallel those type of characteristics. Wines that have lower alcohol content, wines that have low detectable levels of alcohol. They have fruit-forward profiles, and they're without that artificiality of added flavors into the mix. That's one of the things that hopefully when you decide to discover the world of wine, that from here we can figure out how to take it on from there. So my wine selections for starters, we're going to do this in two parts. We're going to start with just some basics from the easy part of the wine world, and then we're going to talk about cocktails and some other stuff in part two. So probably the easiest kind of starting point from the FMB world of wines is Moscato d'Asti, right? This is a light, sweet, bubbly style of Italian sparkling dessert wine that is really easy to approach. It's got these rose petal flavors. It's low in alcohol, basically equivalent to the same sort of thing you're going to see in seltzers, but usually about 5.5% alcohol by volume. This is not to be confused with American style or still Moscato wines, which can be overly sweet for the purposes that I'm recommending. I wouldn't recommend you start there. But a nice light bubbly Moscato d'Asti is a great intro level. Next from that, I would say Riesling. Spätlese and Auslese style Rieslings. Now I know those are funky, German wine words, but Riesling comes in a lot of different styles, but finding basically a semi-sweet version of a Riesling is a great place to start. You're getting flavors of green apples, golden pears, and a nice lower alcohol profile that makes Riesling a wonderfully approachable first wine when you're getting into the wine world. Chenin Blanc would be my next white wine selection. Again, it has this nice off-dry or what we call semi-sweet style. It's got white peach, hibiscus, honeycomb kind of flavors, a floral nature. It's wonderfully approachable, and you can find versions all the way from, say, California all the way out to into some awesome areas like the Loire Valley in France. Then finally, I would recommend Prosecco. Prosecco is a great, crisp, less sweet Italian white wine that comes in basically it's a nice bubbly sparkly format, and it's got this nice white flowers and very clean palate. It's probably the least sweet of the options that I offered, although almost all of these come in a dry version as well. Dry, remember, is the wine word for unsweetened. Okay, so unsweet flavors. So that's it for part one. In part two, we're going to wrap up a little bit more about we're going to talk about wine cocktails and how you kind of can move on beyond those starter wines as well. So what brought you to your favorite hard seltzer brand? What was the thing, or what FMB got you starting in the world of drinking? Go ahead and put those comments down below. Like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. And if you really like it, check us out over on Patreon. We've got excellent immediate and special content over there. And share with a wine-loving friend. Until next time, I've been your Wine Shark. Cheers.